Not. I just scrambled to try to get the child. Oh, they canceled the game. I guess it's heavy rain. Just another rainstorm. You're right. Where's the signature page? What they sent us. Just sign it.
Assume so, right?
They told me,
That's all they sent.
like I couldn't send it to you.
They
And
have signatures.
A little extra step.
Bring this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mayor Black, Commissioner Moore, Commissioner Connor, not here yet. Perfect. Commissioner Law, Commissioner Locklear, Commissioner Morton.
Dear God, once again, great, thank you for blessing our town. Work done and accomplished today, to keep roads clear, and the safety that you brought on all of our workers. Even in the midst of a crisis like this, you give us strength to pull together and come to a better good. We thank you for that. We pray that all the decisions that we made here tonight will make the best interests of the town, not of anyone. Your guidance. Jesus' name. Amen. Have a motion to adopt the agenda for tonight.
I'll second.
Got a motion, second, all in favor? We need anybody want to add anything on item 14?
On item 14, adding section 5 to the closed session, please. I'll make a motion to add section 5.
Got a motion, second. Agenda is swearing in Officer Aligi Mahan.
Sir. All right, Salati and family, and Chief, if you want to join me back up there. This man. Yeah, hey. Let us know you're here. That one. All right. I, Salati Muhammad, accept the duties and responsibilities of the position of police officer in South Ranlo and follow and sincerely swear of the Constitution of the United States, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional powers and authorities which are or may be established for the government thereof, and that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution of said state, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God. I do solemnly swear that I will be alert and diligent, or vigilant, to enforce the criminal laws of the state of North Carolina, that I will not be influenced in any matter on account of personal bias or prejudice, that I will faithfully and impartially execute the duties of my office as a police officer according to the best of my ability and judgment. Congratulations, sir.
item on the agenda is swearing in, Reserve Officer Dale Green.
Yep, same. I, Bill Scott here. I will accept the duties and responsibilities of the position of police officer in the town of Ranlo. And do solemnly and sincerely swear that I will Constitution of the United States, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional power and authorities which are or may be established for the government thereof. And that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution of said state, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of my knowledge and abilities, so help me God. I do solemnly swear that I will be alert and vigilant to enforce the criminal laws of the state of North Carolina, that I will not be influenced in any manner on account of personal bias or prejudice, that I will faithfully and impartially execute the duties of my office as a police officer according to the best of my skill and judgment. Congratulations.
Item on the agenda, comments from any attendees. Anybody sign up? Old business, adoption of the July 18th, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Make a motion.
We have a second. All in favor? All right, new business presentation of our monthly finance.
Yes, sir. So, Mr. Mayor, I can take this one. I don't think you were here at the last meeting, so I'll just kind of quickly go over it. Everybody else that was here, this isn't anything new. So as I mentioned at the end of last fiscal year, as we closed out, we had a nice robust report of what our finances looked like. This was something that the board requested back in May and June. What this is just the monthly expenditure and finance report that Ms. Day has put together for us. On the first page, you'll see our finance overall report, which includes all of our accounts, interests, and things like that. And on the second page, you will see our monthly year-to-date report that shows how far along we are in the fiscal year and our percent spending exactly through that. So there's no motion necessarily required. This is just some information for you just to keep up with the finance. Seems like. Yes, see you later.
Next item on the agenda is consideration of budget amendment.
Yes, sir. So, Mr. Mayor, I can handle this one as well. So that's kind of our nomenclature, at least for now, will be the FY 24-25, and then each amendment will just be the next number. So before you tonight to be considered, this is nothing too crazy. So this is just about our grant money that we received for our K-9, to get the second K-9 officer for the police department. Essentially what this is just kind of like an internal bookkeeping thing. What we're showing here is that we're going to take the $7,500 that we received in grant money that right now lives in other revenue, and we're going to expend it to the account of K-9 and supplies. So essentially, it's just taking the grant money that we received, $7,500, and applying it now in that expenditure line to the K-9 supplies, which will take that 2,000 number up to 9,500 as a result of the grant money that we received.
I make a motion to do the budget one.
Second. Item on the agenda is back discussion on speed bump,
Yes, sir. So, Mr. Mayor, I can take that one as well. So as we discussed in our last meeting, it was brought up to take a look at the Spencer Heights neighborhood and talk about if that area would warrant some speed bumps, right? So I think it was brought up, obviously, that we had passed last month the speed bump on Sapphire, and then Commissioner Connor had expressed some interest in Spencer Heights as well. So what we had done over the past month is we met, and when I say we, I mean me, Chief Lunsford, and Mr. Green as well, and took a look at that area to kind of see, what it actually looks like, where the speeding may be happening, and what would cause potential speed, right? So what I have before you tonight, and I do have some caveats I want to throw in with this, on the map in your packet, you'll see that there's a yellow bar on Wicklow. That is an existing speed bump. And then the two red ones are the ones that we as staff are proposing as a result of taking a look at that study, if you will, and seeing what's going on. So the couple things I want to throw in there about this. So if you're going from Mitcham down Wicklow, you hit that first speed bump, and then it's downhill, and it's very steep, right? So that's why the two proposed are at the sort of bottom of that hill. If you were to take a left onto Sun River, this is one that I think is probably priority number one, and the one at the bottom of Wicklow is priority number two, and I'll explain why. So if you're coming out of Sun River back towards Wicklow, it doesn't necessarily impact you that much because as you're coming up that hill, there's going to be a stop sign there. So it would slow if you have a long run coming down Sun River. But what it's going to be really important is the folks who are coming off of that speed bump, the existing one, going down the hill and taking that left because there's nothing really stopping that speed at that point. So we did find a location that's in between. So the houses that I guess are on we call it the right side of Sun River, if you're looking at the picture, the backyard's back up to there, and then there's a house behind it. So there is a grass section where there's not a driveway on either side that we could place a speed bump there. Wicklow heading down the hill is going to be a little bit more tough. I think that's probably priority number two. That would mainly just be there to really just slow that traffic that's going down the hill. But I think the one that's on Sun River is probably a stronger priority, at least from my recommendation. What I'd like to possibly do, if it's okay with the board, I listed these as two proposed locations, and I can get feedback from the board, but I think prior to approving, if that's what the board sees fit, just in an effort of doing full due diligence and reaching out to everybody, I think it would probably be beneficial if I went to the Spencer Heights HOA meeting and had a discussion with the residents as well, right? So instead of it just being, we are the town manager and board, and this is what's happening now. It's much more inclusive, and there's much more of a conversation, right? Because what if we get out and the president of the HOA or the neighborhood essentially says we hate that idea, that we don't necessarily want that. Right. Yeah. So I'd love to get some feedback from the neighborhood as well, and the president of the HOA actually came to the most recent chats with Charlie, and I had a great discussion with her. So these will be the at least original proposed spots. Maybe just for information today, if that's okay. But if you have some feedback and want to drive staff to make a change, I'm happy to receive that feedback today. And then I can just tell you that between now and hopefully next meeting, if there's an HOA meeting in the meantime, or I can just reach out to the HOA, we'll get some feedback from the residents as well, so it's not so one way, if that's all right with the board. Sure. Yeah.
100% people come, residents come to the HOA meeting.
They have not had one.
Yeah. And I could always chat with her about, if we could set one up. I think what made Sapphire such a better or an easier feeling to pass is because we were approached by the HOA. So we knew that the HOA had interest in Sapphire. Sorry, yeah, Sun. Yeah, so this came up in last meeting to explore if the options in Spencer Heights would be something. So this is what we found in the meantime, but I think it'd be beneficial to receive feedback if you have some about the two locations that we proposed, but also let staff go talk to the HOA about that as well. 1000%, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, unless if the board has some now, then I can take to the HOA as well, but if board just want me to go have that conversation, I'll do that and come back with the answer. Yeah, I can get an updated price for it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so town manager's report, I'll run through that very quickly. In exciting news, I think the YMCA kind of jumped in front of us, which was very exciting, but apparently we're having soccer at the Ranlo ball field, which is very cool. I didn't realize that the registration was already going on, but apparently they are loaded up. So I think between all of their leagues, they have 500 and some kids that are signed up for soccer, of which 112, 114 are going to be at the Ranlo ball field. So it's very exciting. So they got the video that we sent of our lights, and I guess everything's good with all that. So they'll start, I think they'll have practices Monday, Tuesday, and then ball games on Saturday. So we're going to have soccer at the ball field. So even when does it start? Any idea? In 2 weeks. Yeah, so T-ball was a big hit, and now we're running right into soccer. So it's good problems to have. Our ball field is going to be filled with games. So if the board sees fit, I think this may have been before you were sworn in, Commissioner, but I think it was decided by Commissioner Morton and Laws that they were just going to operate it. The motion was made and passed to have it open, so it'll be open. So if y'all want to use it, it'll be open for you to use. I'd like to also say that I think National Night Out was a big success, a lot of fun. I'd like to just recognize Chief and everybody from the fire department. I know Pam had a huge role in that, Assistant Chief, everybody. It was a lot of fun. I think I saw just about everybody out there, so I just want to thank them for all the hard work they did. I think in our community partners that made it happen. You know, a lot of that stuff was donated, and without them, we wouldn't have been able to do such a great event. So just want to say thank you, Chief, and everybody that had to. And then last but not least, I think just to mention, you know, we were hard at work today. So I wanted to just thank police department, Jimmy and all the guys were fantastic. Jason, all the public works guys were unbelievable. CJ sitting back there. The fire department, Commissioner Moore was kind enough to let us run our EOC, our Emergency Operations Command, out of the fire department when we lost power at Town Hall. And then we had some help from the county as well. So I think, you know, a lot of times, I said, I think in a text to you guys last week, no news is good news. I think today was a perfect example of that. We were very busy, but we handled everything. And I just want to thank everybody for all their hard work today. It was the no news is good news thing is very real. And it was in full swing today. So, sure. So the police department has a generator. So the police side is up and operational. But when you go through that door, essentially council chambers back to the side door, that's the area without power. So, yeah, if we get power back, yeah. So,
Right now, they're saying 8 o'clock tomorrow night for the fire scores.
sure. And I'll come in tomorrow and check and make that determination. And I'll let y'all know, of course, as soon as I do. But that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, use out our road out front. We're on the 17, we got one. They did a draft local input of points where they go through each proposed. We received 100. It's just not, the money's not there right now, so we're on, but we are 100 on points, and that's as high as it is. Also, on railroad costs, it did real good on it also. I think that's gonna happen probably quicker than an intersection. Reason being, we're number 3 on it. I only had 10 points on the regional local input. Problem I think that they're telling me is staging process of the trains needs an extra about a half a mile, and if they can get crossing there over the Cox Road, that would give them all the way to I reckon bowl area. They could stage, it's about a half a mile, have those, you know, crossing Smyers, it's a crossing. So that may happen, it's number 3, on the red list. That was good news to me, however, had received, granted $4 million premium for a road, not a road, but some more of the trails along the side of the river. That's great. I mean, that's good. But it come under, you know, I have to ask the question. It come under the smog and emissions act. Small emissions for cars sitting there. I'm thinking about our problem, but they got improved, so that's good. And then I was looking also on the interstate project, they're fixing to start. They've got an EV set up along the interstate, that taxpayer money's paying for. I had a problem with that because the meeting that we was with, in with DOT, they was telling us that one of the reasons that they couldn't do our project was because of all the EVs that's taken away from the gas tax. That's, you get taxed on per gallon. And I'm like, EV station, and y'all fund, gas stations, do. But, that's where we're at. We hope that we'll get it soon. I don't think it'll happen, in the next. Matter of fact, I'm thinking probably by the time I stop driving, I may get that turning lane up there. That's why I sort of kidded with the DOT about it. You never know. We have moved up on the list. That's all I have. Anybody else?
I got a lot.
You got a lot.
I do. You all just way too calm and cool for me. We're sitting on, we have an Olympian here
Yes.
in the town of Ranlo, and I am so excited for little Caitlin. I wish I could have tripped up that ostrich that came around the side and passed her. But, she's still in Paris, and the family is still so excited for her, and at 19, she'll be back. They already see her coming back again. So, our Senator Brad Overcash called me, and he said, Robin, that might be your town of Ramlo's Olympian. That's the state of North Carolina's Olympian. But and let me know how you all want to commemorate her accomplishment. For the family to come home, figure out what we're gonna do. I hope y'all don't hate it, cause I'm gonna go as big as I can. I don't know what it's gonna be. We're gonna do it right. And I don't want it to be something that can be taken down, put up. No, I want it to be there. As far as I know, Ranlo's never had an Olympian. And she's an awesome young lady. She is an awesome young lady. And I really want to commend Doug and his fire department, and that for the past year and a half, I think, they have allowed a very sweet friend of mine, Michelle Melvin, to have her breast cancer support group, the only one in Gaston. Fire station, free of charge. And as we speak, she's in the fight, and, but she's happy. She says she's ready, but her health fell on her. But she's still concerned about her support group. And now the family goes to, rest homes and they do bingo. She still wants to give. She's down to probably 35 pounds, but she still wants to give. And that's just amazing. And she comes from Mountain View also, just like I would. And I thank Doug and them for just opening up the doors so that they can have parties and all that in the bay and use the office. That was really, really kind of them. And the other thing is that, this Sunday at 3:00, if anybody's available or interested, they will be meeting at Warner Academy to pray for the students. On Sunday. She attends the church right here, Mayo, Ranlo, and they're going to pray with the staff and all of the kids with upcoming school year at Warner. And with Worley don't mind. I talked to Ms. Williams, and she is hoping that, Mr. Green will meet with them, and that we can all come up with little tidbit things that they can do, little common skills for the students that they know would not get a real high school diploma, but they want the basic skill training. And she said it can be simple things, like you said, like changing a tire, putting gasoline in a lawnmower. If we could just come up with a schedule with them, just to do basic things with the students at work. So, that being said, I thank you all. Thank you.
I would like for us to consider Caitlin as our grand marshal for the Christmas parade. I think that would be an honor for her and an honor for us.
I shared that with the family, because she said she was college student, and she didn't care, she was going to Arkansas. She attended University of Arkansas. So, most of the time, by the first week in December, they're getting ready for exams, things like that, so they don't know when she'll be back. But I did share that with them, and they love it, they don't know she'll be here to be a part of the first Saturday.
So we moved that, right, and on the first, policy, right?
Yeah, I'd have to look at the schedule of events. We have it listed, but I can't remember the day off the top of my head.
Convertible.
Yeah, yeah. Something fancy to ride in? Yeah.
What do you think, like, the main side of the bank coming in, Ranlo's pump station? Used to be a bank.
Oh, I don't know, I get in mind, where in Cumberland County, there's a little city called Lake, North Carolina. And I just remember, when she, and, I didn't even know, never met her, never saw her, just remember the thing. You saw it as soon as you walked, every time you drove into town. And they acknowledged Olympian. I don't know, I think I'm a bounce off of the parents, and people, what ideas, what they'd like to see for their child, or bounce it off of them. We can hopefully be as creative as we can be, but I like it to be something that's permanent. Yeah, I don't want nothing you can take down, hold it up, put it in the box, put it out, I want something there. So proud.
It'd be nice to have a banner up and some, both sides.
I'll text. Text back and forth.
Any more comments from the board? No. I would have to say.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, you gotta read that, sorry.
Eleven, three, six, and five.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion? Say, all in favor? Carry.
Silver?
She on the seal.